This is the Fontana dei Quattro Fiumi, or in English, the Fountain of the Four Rivers. It is located here in the Plaza Navona in Rome. It was commissioned by Pope Innocent X and designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini. It was unveiled to the world on June 12, 1651. The fountain depicts the four great rivers and the four continents that were recognized at the time: the Nile in Africa, the Ganges in Asia, the Danube in Europe, and the Rio de la Plata in America. Each river god is depicted by certain characteristics. The Ganges carries a long oar representing the river's easy navigation. The Nile's head is draped with a loose piece of cloth, meaning that no one at the time knew exactly where the Nile's source was. The Danube touches the papal coat of arms, as it was considered the most civilized of the four. And the Rio de la Plata is sitting on a pile of coins, a symbol of the riches America might offer to Europe. Each river god is semi-prostrate in awe of the central tower, or obelisk, symbolizing the papal power. The obelisk is crowned with a dove and olive branch, symbols of peace, the Holy Spirit, and the papal family. Bernini's career spans the height of the Italian Baroque. Baroque art is profoundly tied to the religious and political context of the 16th and 17th century. After the Protestant Reformation in England, the Catholic Church launched its own Counter-Reformation to reaffirm its power and to attract more followers to the faith. The fountain personifies the Baroque period in its depiction of life and movement. Bernini was able to create the impression of life and movement through the illusion of movement in the carvings. The limbs of the gods project into the surrounding space, and their intense facial expressions and tousled locks give them the impression of passionate movement. There are also elements of contrast, a characteristic of Baroque sculpture. The tons of marble of the obelisk versus its impression of apparent weightlessness, and the expansive variance of the bottom versus the hard, uniform, and thin apex. The overall message of the fountain is that the power and triumph of the Church under Innocent X and the power of the papal family is vast and ever present.